G'day, it's Teammate You coming at you with something a little bit different today. This time I decided to enlist a mate, Mitch, to help me make a Pokemon Ice type tier list. Pokemon will be judged by completely arbitrary things and our opinions. Let's go.
So, Sandshrew is first up, but not Sandshrew as we know it.
I
I love
love
Alolan Sandshrew.
Alolan Sandshrew, especially with this little steel ring on the top of its head, is just something special. I think that is so cool. I think adding in the second type to make it just not ice makes it really interesting. I think the way it's introduced is really cool. I mean, these are the first times we ever got alternate forms for different regions. It's perfect because it's not only a color change. You can also see the ears are a little bit different. It's got the little steel rod along the top of it.
It looks like it's been designed in mind of digging through ice.
It looks like a creature that I could find. S?
I don't know if I'd put it an S. It's definitely A. I think it's an A.
I think I could step for A, especially if we just stay there for now. Sandslash, I don't vibe with as much.
I like regular Sandslash a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Alolan. I think it's because of the one big icicle on the back of the head.
I think I agree with that. I also think that I know ice is rigid. This is going to sound like the stupidest thing ever. Ice is rigid, yes, but in what a Pokemon looks like, I think it just looks like it goes into its body too much. I think if you had more of a back and then the ice grew from its back, that would be cooler. But Alolan Sandslash looks like normal Sandslash, it looks like it's got its spine sort of into its back, right? Whereas and they technically take up the same amount of space, but you can sort of imagine that there's a back there, but it's just sort of covered as the spines fall backwards.
Yep.
Whereas it's clear, see through it. It's just okay, he just has no back. His brain is just
exposed.
It's just exposed brain. That's hardcore.
What I do like about the design though, and it's just a subtle thing, the claws have an ice pick design. One little redeeming factor for it, but I think it's a B at best.
I also think that it loses the steel, with the little ribbon on top of Alolan Sandslash. We sort of missed that, and then it just looks like an ice Pokemon.
It just looks like an ice Pokemon.
It's good in B
we
for
might
now.
move it.
Alright, so I'm
It's
S.
just temporary. It's just temporary.
Okay, don't stress me out. S, and I'm gonna say why. This is the cutest Pokemon. They made one of the cutest Pokemon in Vulpix. 1,000 times cuter in I am fairy princess mode. Top tier to so many people just because it looks like a small creature. It looks like almost a mythical creature, sort of like a snow fox. Addition to it being fairy type, which is...
I was going to comment on that. It's not fairy type yet, but it really alludes to what the next evolution is going to be in this design.
Yeah.
I think they've done it really well.
Yeah.
And it's something about the eyes. If you compare original Vulpix eyes, it has a very similar design, just the different colors. It's brown. It's the blue and purple in the eye that does it for me.
Once again, a creature that looks like a creature.
You could find that in the world. Yep, yeah, I can dig that. And then the obvious one, this one's just going up there.
Just go straight up there next to it. Just go straight up there. We're talking about the vibe of a Kitsune for normal Ninetails. It looks like a majestic Pokemon with a Alolan Ninetails. Looks almost like a pseudo legendary. It looks more legendary than a lot of legendary Pokemon end up looking like. I could imagine getting lost on a mountain and seeing this thing in the distance, you know what I mean?
That's exactly what I was about to say. This is a Pokemon that feels like if you encountered once in your lifetime, you'd be telling the stories of how you came upon it. Because it would be that meaningful.
Yeah.
I like that the tails join together as sort of a big bit of fluff rather than the individual Ninetales, so they step away from a direct copycat. Everything looks fluffy like snow, whereas original Ninetales is sleek. Yeah, nah, I dig it. I think Alolan Ninetales is peak ice Pokemon. You look at that, you think ice.
I mean, there's a couple more in here, but if I was an ice type trainer, that's obviously almost gonna be aced. Now, Dugong.
Temporary, but...
So I'm so okay with it just being there, because yes, it is literally
it's just a seal.
But I respect that decision so much. I don't think I've ever used, in my whole game of Pokemon, I don't think I've ever used Dugong, but there's just something you gotta respect about him, you know what I mean? He's got the cute cry in the Pokemon, the first movie.
This is literally a Pokemon that, yes, you could expect to see in the world, but that's not because it's a good design, it's because it literally exists in the world, minus the point.
I don't know, sometimes you look at stats and things like that, and stats shouldn't have an impact on your love of a Pokemon, but there's nothing going for Dugong.
It's literally B. It's across the board, it is a B Pokemon.
The B. It's it's said and forget. But I respect it. I love it. I love it. I think it's just like, it's just fun. It's just fun that it exists. It's like filler Pokemon, but it's good filler Pokemon.
Alright, Cloyster. Every time I move it into B, it's temporary. Until it's not. Cloyster
As a kid,
is...
I legitimately thought this was ghastly. I literally thought there was some weird way you could make... I did not know about Shelter as a kid. All I knew was that it looked like the Ghastly
it's
Sprite.
basically Ghastly Sprite minus the pointy teeth thrown into the Shelter shell.
Obvious connections to it looking like a piece of anatomy aside. I think it's cool. It's literally just like taking everything away. It's just a little pearl that's dark that just sits there and kind of looks like evil, you know?
I actually think we need to chuck it into A. I think it's better than those two.
That. I also have a love for the fact that it has 180 defense. It's just like, what?
I love that its competitive niche is Shell Smash sweeping. Like,
hilarious there. I wish it kept the tongue. I think that's the only thing. I wish it kept the tongue from Shelter.
the derpy tongue.
There's something cool about it. I think it's because the shell looks really unique. Like, it looks like it sort of found the shell and it's made its way in, and that's why it's like so happy about it. He's literally just like, look what I found. He's like he's walked into a tank, you know?
You know what? Actually, I'm going to demote it, and here's why.
Yeah,
I don't see ice in that. That's a water Pokemon.
It is a water Pokemon.
That is a water Pokemon. In the water tier list, I would put it higher, but I think that does not speak ice to me.
I think that's reasonable. I think that's a reasonable assumption.
Love it. Love the design, but not nice Pokemon at glance. Okay, should we get into Mr. Mime, but Galarian? I like the tap dancing part. I think, yep, cool. They stepped away from it being literally another Mr. Mime, but ice. They went for something else.
Mm-hmm.
Do I care? Not really.
Yeah.
Do I think it's a step down from the original Mr. Mime? Yes.
Yeah, and Mr. Mime is already... I mean, I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I do think Mr. Mime is already a little bit, hey, how you going? In terms of like, oh, I'm not too sure about this as a Pokemon. This looks like human enslavement to me. But Galarian Mr. Mime...
Especially with Ash's mum making it eat out of a food bowl on the ground in the house. It just looks so wrong.
Right. And you know what? You know what even puts him down? Okay,
it's the really thin arms.
I was about to say put him in C, but what makes him even worse, he's wearing mitts.
I'm putting him in D. He's a human. He's wearing clothes.
It's not only a human, but it is an organic creature that has somehow evolved to have a thumb joint and then a solid palm.
Yeah, I can't get around it.
That's just no good.
And like, I know Mr. Mime has also developed like shoes, I guess. But there's something about Galarian Mr. Mime that is literally... He's developed heels. Why would evolutionary-wise, why would it ever develop heels?
I'm okay with the tie. The tie's smart. But... And then we get to Mr. Rhyme, and...
I honestly think Mr. Rhyme's worse. I dislike Mr. Rhyme.
I agree. I don't know. Because it's meant to be Charlie Chaplin, right? Is that the idea?
Yeah, comedian Pokemon. I think it's meant to be Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin... I don't get it. I actually don't understand. I don't like its belly. If you're Australian, you know what a Billy ice cream with the red nose.
Sorry, Mitch. S. Bubble-O Bill ice cream.
Bubble-O Bill, thank you. Yeah, like it's like an ice cream with that looks like a cowboy with like a red nose, and the red nose is like bubble gum. Like it's like you can make a Mr. Rhyme ice cream, and that's just like bad news. Like if you got a bubblegum Mr. Rhyme ice cream, that would make kids cry, and for making kids cry, you get put into E.
I think it's going to E, but I just want to also point out its Pokedex entry is right. It's the comedian Pokemon. But its Pokedex entry is all about tap dancing and weaving its cane in like sync with its dancing. It's like a bit of a disconnection there.
Pokemon's better without that. I think that's like what E is. It's like Pokemon's better without that.
Yes. Okay, Smoochum, the Kiss Pokemon.
I like Smoochum, dude. I like Smoochum. There's something. We're talking about baby Pokemon in general. Like, I get it. I don't think it's great.
I think for me, the only reason I like it is because of Jinx. That, okay, it turns into Jinx. Cool, that's the purpose of it. Otherwise, you could basically ignore it. Like, I don't think the design's good. I think it's a C. I think it's better than Mr. Mime.
It's better than Mr. Mime,
yeah, it's better than Mr. Mime, but I just don't think it serves any purpose to have.
You know what we really need? We honestly need a regional Jinx, because... I'm having a closer look at Jinx right now, and I can't get out of my head that it looks like the wife of the purple dude from like McDonald's.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
If you just take away the hair, it's just like I can't. Why has it got blonde hair?
So I think Smoochum's a C. I think Jinx is also a C.
Yeah.
But
I also hate that its species is titled the human shape Pokemon. I mean, like,
what is that?
what
Whose
does that even
elbows
mean?
have those weird growths on them?
Oh my goodness, it's horrendous. Now put it down. I think
Actually,
it's
I
Mr.
think
Mime
it's like
tier.
that.
Like, it's mad. It's and like Jinx is a meme. Jinx has got history, but the more I look at Jinx, you just can't. I think I like it in animation. It's moving side to side. It's kind of like fun, but no, ban it.
Banned. All right, this is one that's I think it has to be at least an A.
I disagree.
You disagree? I love Lapras.
I think it is the best looking ice type Pokemon and should be at the top of S class.
Oh, okay, jeez, I thought you were about to go the other way. I'm like, no, this thing's amazing.
I can see some criticism of being like, hey, it doesn't look like an ice type. Maybe it's just because of the shade of blue it's got.
See, this
You
is
can
my issue,
imagine it
right?
using Ice Beam. You can imagine it using Ice Beam.
Oh, I think it's also the chunkiness of it. I think as much as you could say it's a water type, I think it does feel right as an ice. My argument for it not being an S is just comparing it to those two. And it might just be because this is a more modern S design, but these look more like ice Pokemon than Lapras does.
I respect making sure something looks like an ice type Pokemon, but I think the exception has to be.
I think we need to do
Lapras.
that. I think that's fitting.
Yeah, if we're going to talk about specifically ice types, yeah, because I do think that Lapras is more of a water type than an ice type. But I think just in terms of like overall design, you can imagine it. I think when we watch like the early anime, it's always in a tropical place. But you can also, like, if you imagine it in like an Antarctic type place, you can start to feel that ice vibe from it.
Also, this thing has got like really dark Pokedex entries. Like, along with the whole it helps people be transported, they've been hunted to almost extinction, and they sing like sad songs.
Actually devastating. Also, I'm just saying, if you ever look at the early Sugimori artwork for Red and Blue Lapras, it's got like teeth. It's vicious. It's so good. I know it's Nessie. But it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, it's based off a Plesiosaur, and I dig that. I think that's a water Pokemon. Gigantamax, I could take or leave it. I like that they used the sort of ice notes around it because of that ode to the song style, but I just genuinely don't like the Gigantamax forms.
I also agree with that. I like the idea it's got the music around it and the eye shape. I think that's cool. But I think they went overboard with the shell. Like I don't like it when the Gigantamax gets rid of the organic feeling.
Yep. I feel that.
They had an organic shell, and then all of a sudden it looks like it's a.
It almost looks like it's going to be a volcano.
Yeah, I just don't get that design. I'd put it down.
I think I'm going to put it C. I still think it's better than these two. Glaceon, but I don't think it's as good as the other evolutions in terms of its design.
I think that's definitely a fair comment. In saying that, the way it just like kind of
In saying that, no,
it's a fan favorite for a reason. Like it and Leafeon are both special in that not only do they have a cool way to be evolved.
Yeah, leveling up near an icy rock.
I also really respect that it kind of looks like the most sassy member of the Eevee group. Like the really smart girl who's also really nasty at the same time, and I love that. It's got so much attitude. If Glaceon tells you to sit, you're gonna sit.
I love its idea of it like freezes its fur to shoot them as needles as well. It's like a defense mechanism that's metal as it's... And then in terms of like stat line, it's a massive special attacker. Doesn't have much speed, but it hits like a truck.
Now, my friend Articuno here is not only the best of the bird type Pokemon. What is that?
I'm taking the piss.
Do not troll the people like that. Articuno is the best looking bird type Pokemon. It only has one thing that's wrong about it.
And I'm going to take a stab in the dark that you're going to talk about some facial hair.
You know what? I actually like the facial hair. I like the beard.
Okay.
No, I think its wings are too small.
Yeah, I can see that.
If its wings were kind of like a little bit thicker and like more majestic, I reckon that could be a top-rated Pokemon of all time. But there's something simple about the legendary birds, and particularly Articuno with its long, elegant tail makes it feel like, oh, okay. This does feel...
That looks like a legendary bird. I think it's a there.
Yeah, I
think it's better, slightly better than the Lapras, but I don't think it's as good as the two Vulpix and Ninetales. Purely from an aesthetic, It gets a lot of respect for what it is.
Oh yeah.
I think you're right. If it had like Ho-Oh level details of its wings with like multi-layered
yeah.
of feathers, it'd be the best it could be, especially with some different shades of blue. All right, Sneasel. I'm going to make an argument here as well. I don't see ice when I look at it, except for the claws being hooked,
Yeah,
like
but-
ice pick style, but I like the design. I'd almost go as far as to go.
Think about where you find it. You find it in a cave full of ice. And sort of you kind of like, okay, so it's kind of like a cave type Pokemon that exists like in sort of these colder climates. Kind of replaces all those other cave Pokemon that you would normally encounter. And I love its like attitude. I love its little red tail feathers at the back. Its face just looks like it's just ready to shred something. And that is so cool.
Yeah, it looks like it's ready to throw down. I love it. Also, apparently its claws extend. So like it can retract and extend the claws, which is metal ass.
Okay.
So I think that's fine. You might disagree with me on this, but I don't like Weavile anywhere near as much.
I don't think Weavile is anywhere near as cool. Now, I'm not sure. I don't know what people feel about Weavile, but for me, like, I love that it gains an extra core. The thing that's always confused me about Weavile is that I've always got Egyptian vibes from its head.
Which doesn't fit ice aesthetic much at all, hey?
I don't really know. And if I could find out more about the Pokemon, maybe. But yeah, I've never liked Weavile. I think it does belong to be because I also don't think it's a bad design.
I don't see ice from it again. I see dark, and if you told me this thing lived in the desert, I'd be like, yeah, I can see that. So the ice part's lost. I think B, from a cool design point of view.
I wish Sneasel had better stats because I do think it's a better looking Pokemon. Like, it doesn't look like it's evolved. It kind of just looks like an alternate form.
All right.
I love Swinub, dude. I don't know how you claim a Pokemon that looks as basic as Swinub is meant to be A.
I honestly want to put it up there though, because the more I look at this list, I'm like, no, it is actually better than these. It looks like it should live in the snow, and it looks like I could find it.
Right?
Like, you could go out into a snowfield and expect to come across them, and I love it. This is my
Okay.
issue, right, though. We're going to move on to its second evolution, and you're going to hate me.
Oh, why?
I don't like Piloswine as much as Swinub. I love what they did with it. I understand where they went with it. I like Swinub so much more. I get it. I get that it's a bore. I don't know why I don't enjoy the design as much as Swinub.
I wonder. It is too tall for how short it is.
It kind of reminds me of the camel with, like, it just suddenly gets this big hump on the back, and I would think I'd rather it slope down. That's it. I think honestly it probably fits in B, to be honest. Because when you think about it, it's about as creative as Dugong. It's a real world thing that they've Pokemonified.
Yeah, I think so too. It's still great. It's lovable. I think I just have a love of ugly things. For some reason, Piloswine just like I vibe with it, dude. Like I would vibe the fuck out with a Piloswine.
Okay, Mamoswine.
I have such strong memories of evolving my Piloswine. I love elephants. I love mammoths. I wish there was more covering the horns, but I also just really like it because it's like a big angry hog. If you get it out of its idea that's meant to be an elephant, you get more in the idea that it's like a wild hog, like a wild boar. Kind of like this a lot. I would say it's better than Piloswine.
Oh,
But
it definitely is.
Alolan Sandslash needs to move down.
Honestly, I'm looking at that as well, and I'm going, yeah, I think it does.
Mamoswine needs
Yeah.
to be at the top of that B tier for sure.
I think that works. I think Swinub's the better looking of those evolutions. It gets those cute points, especially with the eye shut. Piloswine, they continue with the eye shut, but sort of like it can't see because it's furs over its face. I like what they did with Mamoswine. They sort of combined the mammoth idea with the existing boar Pokemon. And it even has Pokedex entries about they were dug out of ice 10,000 years ago. It also apparently has reduced in size over time.
It has reduced in
It
size.
has. It apparently reached its zenith during the Ice Age when it was like massive.
Pokemon lore is the best.
I don't think I can put it in A though. There's something holding me back about it, and it might just be the way the face looks.
I
Top of
think
B?
so.
Yes. Alright,
Delhi
Santa
that.
Claus.
That's a B. I've never seen more of a B type Pokemon in my life. I want to hate it. I want to hate its stupid bag. I want to hate whatever. I want to hate the present.
I want to hate the fact that it has present as a move, but I also love the fact it has present as a move. From a design, it actually looks like an ice bird. I can sort of see it, like it's a bit fluffier so it can survive up in cold areas.
It's such a mean
But it's
Pokemon.
literally just Santa.
I can see them making this Pokemon specifically for a Pokemon episode. I'm okay with that.
Alright, snowy cast form.
Yeah.
I don't like cast form in general. I love the concept of the weather Pokemon that changes its appearance in the weather and gain the typing of that weather.
Snowy Cast form is probably the best looking of all the forms.
Really? I think rain form the best looking. I actually dislike snowy. I would put Snowy at best in like C.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's where it fits. It's not as good as anything above it, and it's definitely better than what we have down here. Snorunt.
Snorunt. I love Snorunt. I really want to put it up higher. I think that once again, when you look behind what a Pokemon is, it starts to become a little bit too weird. In this case, this is a Pokemon that is triangular in shape, and I don't know if I can vibe with that.
It's
You can
literally
see how-
called the Snow Hat Pokemon.
Yeah.
It lives in caves and like hides in the stalactites and stalagmites. I kind of like that. I honestly think it's, yeah, I want to take it out of B, but at the same time, I'm looking at what's in C, being like, that's not a C. Honestly, it
Yeah.
might. I'm sort of getting tempted to go like that and move some of these down. I think
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
I think we're at a better point now.
Glalie deserves a spot right next to Snorunt. I don't
Yeah.
know what Glalie is, but there's something likable about it.
I think Glalie's terrifying. It is 1.5 meters tall. It
Sure.
weighs 250 kilos.
1.5 meters.
Dude, it's massive.
If you're like some prehistoric humans and you're living in like a little hut and you open up your tent in the morning after a snowstorm and this thing's just standing in your camp, please leave, please leave, please leave.
Please leave. But in terms of a design, I like it, but I also dislike it. I think it fits in the B. Okay, Mega Glalie.
No, you know what? It's got a big mouth. It's got to be. Just put it next to Glalie. Mega Glalie could be an evolution, and like look at that. If you put those three together, not only does that feel right, that feels like what should happen.
I think that order works. I'm debating if we drop Mega Glalie down later. I just don't think it added anything.
You know what? I actually disagree. I reckon that is a better Pokemon than Glalie. I think its big mouth like makes it look because it's got to crunch rocks. It actually looks like it's got a purpose of existence. Yeah, I would agree with that. I love its horn, how it's grown out of that little diamond shape it's got in its pride. Like, this is a good. You know what? I don't think I've ever looked at Mega Glalie. I think this is a good Mega Pokemon.
I think it's there. I think it's
Yeah.
the top of the Snorunt line, but I think they're all B. We've got one left.
Oh, jeez, Frostlass.
Frostlass. And I actually love Frostlass.
Give me why.
For me, it's the idea of, because it's 100% female, it's like for me the idea of like this ice witch. But because it's ghost type, it's almost like one of those, like a lost spirit in the snow.
Yeah. I would approve that. I think my biggest issue is that its arms start at its head.
Oh, hang on. Legends in snowy regions say that a woman who was lost in an icy mountain were reborn as Frostlass. So yeah, it's literally like a vengeful female spirit.
That's so cursed, dude. That's actually so cursed.
And for me, I think at minimum it's at the top of B.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I don't think we can agree there. He's not, and I don't think he's anywhere near better than the Glalie. Cannot get over the idea that it looks like a fish. Its arms are hanging from its head. You know, it's just no good. It is a cursed Pokemon in all the wrong ways. But I want to like it. You gotta understand. I want to like it, but I think just the design choice to have its arms hanging there is just.
I'll drop it to B, but I won't put it less than B because I think it's better than Sandshrew. Sandslash.
Yeah, straight up.
Straight up.
Spheal. No, you know what? Put Spheal up higher. Spheal's better than Swinub.
Actually, I honestly feel like that's more appropriate.
Yeah, I agree. Spheal is just so much fun. It's just a ball, and he's happy.
It's a happy fat ball. It's excellent. I love it. It's a perfect cute Pokemon. I love that it's called the clap Pokemon because I imagine it trying to clap.
As someone who genuinely likes Mudkip and Swampert, this could have been a starter. Spheal feels like it could have been a starter.
Definitely. I think if Spheal has that level of cute that you go, yeah, I could see that as a starter. Its Pokedex entry is literally that it rolls along the ice because it's bad at swimming. Because it's just so fat. So it literally just floats around all day, happy as Larry. Alright, I think we need to move on to Celio, and I honestly am doing one of these. My argument for that. I prefer Dugong as a seal evolution. I don't like Celio. It's the mustache.
It's the mustache, but it's a cool seal. I don't think it's C. It is so much better than the low. It is better than Frostlass. You cannot say that it is a worse design than Frostlass. The thing that has arms out of its head.
Honestly, no. I think Glalie. I like Glalie more as an ice Pokemon. It's a pretty meh design. It's just a seal.
Super fair.
Now Walrein, I like Walrein a lot more.
Walrein is the top of A for me.
Oh no, definitely. I'm just sitting there going,
Okay, cool. It's being like the walrus with the big teeth. I love that it's got this sort of like a mane, like a lion. I like that its body is kept like a seal. I love that it still remains. It just looks like a Pokemon.
honestly, I want to put it there. I like Spheal more than I like Walrein.
I think I will decidedly accept this.
I do want to point out though, Walrein has always got memories in me because it was always the Pokemon I struggled to beat in the Elite Four and Hoenn. I love that they live in massive packs.
Yeah, once again, as I said, I think it could be a starter, you know?
Yeah, honestly, I would love to get a water ice starter.
I mean, looking at this list, I don't know how many water ice Pokemon.
No, because there's so many of them already. Alright, Regice.
Just leave it. It's bottom B. It's not C. Like, the design's cool. It's not great.
The only reason I like is I get what they were going for, the whole ice crystal idea, but I don't like it compared to the other Regis.
Reggie Steel's my least favorite, but I don't really love any of them. I love that we've put this Alolan Sand Slash there, because to be worse than that to fall down to C, you know what I mean?
I know, this thing has been such a gatekeeper now.
Like, it's gonna buff B accidentally. We need to nerf it. Nerf it down to D. Yeah, okay,
I think that feels better now. So yeah, Regice, not that clever of a design. But I appreciate what they went for. I just don't like what it is.
Can we just put...
I do want to point out that it has 200 special defense. And I think that's insane.
Something so juicy about that. Why do I love that so much?
It's just big numbers. Okay, Snova. I don't have any strong feelings about Snova.
I just love it because it's grass and ice. There's something like the grass and ice that just makes me excited and happy and joyful. It does look like a tree, but it's pleasant. You know what? I would put that in C. That belongs somewhere in C.
There. My issue with it as well is it has so many weaknesses. Fighting, poison, steel, rock, bug, fly, and then a 4 times to fire. Design-wise, cool.
Yeah, design-wise, big respect.
I love Abomasnow though.
Abomasnow just being this terrifying creature of just, I'm gonna slap you around.
This is literally like the equivalent of Ninetails, but the scary version.
Yeah.
Like, you come across this in the snow and you're telling stories about it forever. You come across this in the snow, you're telling stories about it forever. Also, again, another one that I remember struggling with, if you didn't have a fire type, Abomasnow was always hell. And it actually doesn't have that great stats. It's 494 total, but it feels good.
Mega Abomasnow, my biggest issue is that, once again, it should just be an evolution.
Yeah, I agree. It actually, I don't think it gained anything. In fact, it loses a lot of speed to get a lot, like, tankiness, but I don't think it adds anything. I think, yeah, honestly, I feel like that, in that order, that's what you have. I actually like Mega Abomasnow more than I like Snorunt, because I can see what they did with this, of it just getting more, like, bigger and meaner.
Yes, yeah.
But
I do like it.
Alright, so we're up to Rotom, like Frost Rotom. I dislike Frost Rotom. I love Rotom because of the idea of it.
I like base Rotom. I respect the design decision.
There's something about it. I love this idea of Rotom is this electrical ghost that takes over household items. And of course they were going to make the Frost one the fridge. It just does my head in. Yeah, it's the spike on the head as well. It just, I don't like it. Whose fridge has double doors like that? And then like 2 single drawers in that, I don't know why, in that exact shape, in that, I guess, like split. I like it less than the Ds. Whereas Rotom normal, like Rotom, just normal Rotom, is like an A for me. I love the idea of Rotom. I hate all of its other forms. I appreciate Mo Rotom because it's funny though.
Mo Rotom. Yeah, I do as well.
Galarium, Darumaka. I'm not a fan of Darumaka in either form, to be honest.
Neither am I really. But he's cool. He looks like he's concerned, and I respect the concern. But
he's in a perpetual state of anxiety.
That deserves some fun. I actually like it a lot more than the fire one. Yeah, keep it.
Yeah, I think B is fine, honestly. I think you're going to fight me on this. I don't know why, but I just dislike Darmanitan. I know people love it, and I kind of get why. I can see it, I can appreciate it, but it just does my head in. I love its stat line. It's absolutely busto, because it's the same as normal. Where do you reckon it goes, Mitch? Because I wouldn't be putting it higher than B. Actually, no. I honestly like it less than Darumaka, but I know I can't do that.
Put it below.
Yeah, I think below.
He's got the big lips. He's fun.
I love the afro. It actually, for me, what it looks like is a snowman.
Right, yeah, okay.
So I get what they were going with that, I guess. Usefulness, yeah. Like, competitive-wise, good Pokemon.
Yep.
Okay, Zen mode. This literally loses its arms, its style of head. Gains the
actually-
fire typing.
The arms, man. If it didn't have the arms, it would be fantastic. And I know the arms are kept over from the other Zen mode, but the other Zen mode has its arms attached. Yeah, I wish. Put it down.
I think it's there.
Sand / the gatekeeper.
We're on to 3 of my favorite Pokemon to talk about, but I hate them. Vanillite is probably the best of the 3, and it's only because I hate the fact they have these little nubs as arms and this really derpy face.
Here's what we're gonna do. C, D. I think they get gradually worse. I think the double ice cream. No, you know what? Swap around. Vanillish is just terrible. At least Vanillox is at least kind of happy and a little bit derpy. Jeez, Vanillish is just not having a good time in life.
Okay, Vanillite I like from like a cute point of view. I hate that it's an ice cream. I can get it. Honestly, for me, this is literally like this. I'm kind of like, actually, let's just do that. I get the cuteness, but I hate the whole concept of an ice cream, because why would a Pokemon develop into an ice cream shape?
Yeah.
I don't want to put them any higher than that, because like...
No, they don't deserve it.
That's there. Cubchoo. I think Cubchoo is better than Vanillish, but I dislike it because of that like perpetual snot thing.
I love it. I think that is a hot take. That is a hot take on one of the cutest Pokemon.
Oh no, I think it's cute. I don't know why I don't like it. And it might be something to do with the next one coming up, but I'll lament to put it higher.
Oh jeez, would you? I kind of would put it to Swinub. Don't at me too hard on that one. But
wait, Swinub?
Its coloration is great. It's got these innocent looking eyes. The little snot hanging out of its nose is kind of tasteful.
Actually, you know what? No. I'm gonna lament. I'm gonna put it up there, but it's because I'm not letting you do anything with the next one.
Wow. Okay.
I hate Beartic so much.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
My reasoning for it, I hate its beard.
Its beard.
The ice beard. I hate it. I hate its weird pelvis fluff as well. Like, I don't get what purpose that served, aside from they needed to add more to the front of it, because otherwise it's just an upright polar bear.
Yes.
Do I think it's... Honestly, I like it less than Sandslash. Come at me. I hate it. There's not much you'll be able to change on that.
You know what? I agree. I hate that it looks like it has a giant pubic bush. I hate that it has a tiny little head and these big hands. I hate that it's got an ice beard. Like, why does it have a pubic bush? Like,
honestly, there's another piece of artwork that shows its tail, where it's bushy as well, and it makes a bit more sense, but this artwork, and in general, this weird pubic bush just needs to go. But Beartic, I think, is... honestly, the more I look at it, the more I want to put it there. Cryogonal, yeah, I'll pay that.
Send him to the pits of despair, dude. There's nothing.
Really? I like the idea for it being the snowflake.
I don't know what it is behind it. I don't know what it's meant to be. This is a Digimon, dude. This is a Digimon.
I like it more than these ones. I don't like it as much as Sandslash, though. Wow, this thing has really been a gatekeeper. Also, when it gets hot, it literally turns to steam and then comes back. Can you imagine as a trainer as well, where you throw this out into battle in summer and it just disappears, and you're like, welp, I guess I'll come back in winter and pick it up again.
I don't think I can fight you on it. It is what it is. It's horrendous, but yeah, at least it's in D. Alright, Kyurem gets put into D. I don't care. That's a legendary. It having odd-shaped arms doesn't work for anything in its favor. It wants to be. It's better than Sandslash. I think we've got a new gatekeeper.
Honestly, I feel like we need to do that. It's a gatekeeper of the bottom of C, because I think it doesn't belong in that tier. I get what you're saying with the arms. I hate this, like, legendary design, but I like the lore. Like, the idea of it was, one dragon, Kyurem, Reshiram, and Zekrom, and this is, like, the corpse.
Yeah, right.
So I appreciate it. I don't like the design anywhere near as much as the other two. The other Kyurem forms, I actually like more.
I do too. I think are both cool. The idea of them fusing and looking, they still screwed up, because the whole idea is they're meant to be, Reshiram and Zekrom are meant to fuse together along with Kyurem, but Kyurem only fuses with one or the other, making these sort of...
There's like weird middle things.
Yeah, and I wish that was played on a little bit more.
Actually, honestly, I kind of want to do that.
They look mean and terrifying and strange. Like, that's what Kyurem to me is meant to look like.
Yeah, I think that works. That honestly feels right. Kyurem on its own is not great. These two is at least like a mid Pokemon. And it's really sad that like the Ice Legendaries we're putting down that level.
It is a little bit sad.
Amora.
I want Amora to be better than what it is. Unfortunately, it's so cute, and I really love it. Its eyes just a little bit too big, but it's not bad. Like,
Honestly, dude, its eyes look like they could be on an anime girl.
yeah, this looks like a Pokemon that could talk.
1.3 meters tall, so it's always bigger than I imagine it would be.
Wow.
I think it's like around there, honestly, because I don't think it's as bad as what we have down here. Because there is actually some redeeming stuff to it. I don't know, like I don't really like the side crystal, but I like it. It is a rock. Sorry, it's an ice type. Like I can see the ice. You don't really see the rock out of it. And I guess the ice, like the crystal on its side's more of an ode to Aurorus, where it gets like a line of them.
There's thought put into this Pokemon, which I respect.
So Aurorus.
That's B. That's an easy B.
Yeah, I actually like it. I like it more than Aurora.
Yeah. I still think the eyes are the biggest problem there. Once again, oftentimes it does come down to just the eyes.
I'm looking at it going if with different eyes, with like
A more Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3.
yeah, I'm
type.
literally looking at like with like the black like Sandshrew or Dugong eye or something. I'd be like, yeah, it's up. It's like right up here. But I think it's a mid B. I think it's a low B. I want to like it more than I do. Okay, only like redeeming quality. It does have refrigerate though, which is pretty cool. Normal moves become ice, but it's I don't like it as much as the other what we've got in B. Okay, Bergmite.
You know what? I don't hate Bergmite. I think I like it. Once again, I always imagine you're playing the game, you enter that ice cavern, and this is exactly what I would expect.
Yep, yeah, no, perfect. I can literally see you walk into the cavern and like the stalagmites and stalactites literally move, and there's just a swarm of Bergmite.
Yeah. It's not terrible. I don't think it's a B. No, it does deserve a place there, like behind Snova maybe.
I think that's about right. It's literally just an ice chunk, and then I think we're gonna disagree here.
Okay. Wow.
The only reason I like Avalugg...
Can I guess the reason?
Go.
Is it because it's 2 meters tall and weighs 500 kilograms?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I accept this proposal because I'm looking at this thing right now. Why is this thing taller than me? If I was walking around and I see this ice block, that is a terrifying Pokemon.
It also has 184 defense. It's apparently as hard as steel. It's like an aircraft carrier for Bergmite. I can't hate it.
Yeah, I can't hate it either.
Okay, thoughts on Hisuian Avalugg though? I actually like the design more.
Do I like it more? I think I like it more.
I think I like it more, and it's you know what the funny thing is? I like that it's got this steel jaw. It's like developed a snowplow. I actually like it a lot more than I should. Feels like it's better than the Mega Abomasnow for what it is. There's something about it. It might also just be like the coloration on it.
Yeah,
honestly, this is what Avalugg should have just been.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's better than Avalugg. Oh yeah, give respect where it's earned.
Crabominal.
Now this is my boy for sure. There's something I love about this guy. His face is just so herp and he's dirt, man. The fact that he just looks like he just slams down. Like you can just imagine him just going around just hitting the ground.
I was about to say it's 1.7 meters tall.
Some Pokemon are absolutely cursed because of that. That is just not right. That is not right at all.
It aimed for the top but got lost and ended up on a snowy mountain. Being forced to endure the cold, this Pokemon evolved and grew fur. It's a crab brawler that literally just got lost in the snow. Apparently it can turn back avalanches by punching them enough. Yeah, there's some respect there. I don't think it's any higher than that.
Is it worse than Kyurem? Yes, but I want to put it higher just because I think fighting ice and it just being a crazy crab is just, you know what I mean? Like I don't love it, but like I also love it.
I think it fits. I think it fits there. We have a mate that would kill us if we put Snom any lower than like S. So he's gonna kill us after this.
So him not being here, and I made this claim before, I don't know why it has to have a butt mouth.
Why? How are bug Pokemon cute?
Nobody knows.
I think it's cuter than Cubchoo, and I don't know why because it has no right to be. It's also really basic, though. And there's something about a really basic Pokemon design that I love, and also the fact that these like bottom nubs must be its like feet. Frostmoth, I think, is a good-looking Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm just staring at it right now. There's something beautiful about it. I would be putting that high in the B. Where in the B though? I'm not too sure. I like it more than Cloyster. I like it more than Dugong.
Yeah, I honestly think I like it more than Mamoswine. It's an A. It's an A Pokemon designed as a bug type.
Mhm.
You could imagine going into like snowfields and seeing a swarm of these just take off and it being like majestic. Also, the eyes are really interesting with like the double iris.
Yeah.
Also, it being like fat that it can survive the cold. Weakness wise, though, it does suck that it has 4 times weakness to fire and rock.
Quiver Dance, Ice Beam, that's
Yeah.
Bug Buzz. That's fun.
Bug Buzz. It's got some pretty redeeming factors to it.
Yeah, it does, right?
Ice Skew.
I love the one without the ice on his head.
Noise
but
face.
It's the one with the ice is just such an enjoyable meme.
I hate it.
Fun.
I hate the design. I love
Okay.
the meme. This idea of like it has an ice block that it's basically massive defense. And when it breaks, it gets really quick because it doesn't have that weight. It honestly is a B, and I think only because of the meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it at the bottom. Put it at the bottom.
Apparently,
I-
it likes its head being cold.
And that's so much fun. That is so much fun. And he's got a kind of normal looking face. I like him. He needs to be in B somewhere. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? If we're going to split them up and bring them both in, I'd probably do something like that.
Yeah. This guy deserves respect.
Okay. Arctozolt.
I hate it.
Okay, good.
Beyond all imagination. I understand that they were going for something, but you know what? You can't have a skinny neck like that. You can't skip out on neck day.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I just don't gel with this one.
Yeah, it just put it in there. It should be forgotten. They need to put in the Pokemon that they should actually look like. And I just don't
Arctovish.
approve. Put it in E. Put it in E.
Really? Because I would argue it's better than Arctozolt.
Its head is upside down, my dude. Its mouth is pointing upwards. That thing needs to be put down. It's literally suffering. It's literally just like, kill me, kill me. Ugh. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. If there was an F tier, this would be there. This is worse than Mr. Rhyme. This is like
I just think it's still not as bad as Mr. Rhyme.
Mr.
Actually, you know what? I think that needs to happen. Glassray, I've never had one because I didn't get the Crown Tundra DLC.
Neither did I, but I played a lot of it with Showdown, and not only is it cool Pokemon, this feels like a legendary. This is a majestic horse, and I really like it. I actually think it should be at the bottom of A tier. Not only the obviously amazing stats, but the fact that it is just a like wild ice horse, it gives it a legendary vibe. Now, if it had some, if I feel like if it had something a little bit more mythical, it could really reach that Ninetales status, but I could still imagine finding this thing in the wild.
See, I would not put it in the bottom of A. I would put it sort of in the top of B, and it's because it doesn't have hooves. It has these weird like ice feet instead. I just don't like them. I think if it had smooth hooves, it would look more majestic. I would put it in that. Okay, Calyrex Ice Rider form.
Now, I don't know whether I need to be offended by this thing.
Okay, so this is the thing, right? Is I love the idea of knights in history and in like fantasy lore and stuff like that. So I should love this Pokemon, but I dislike it a lot.
That is a straight up, and I don't mean like Glastrier turns into a Digimon when Calyrex mounts it. A Digimon. Even looking at its eye, it actually looks like it could be like an evil character in Fairly Odd Parents or like Powerpuff Girls. It needs to go. It needs to leave.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
It's not a hot take. I can't imagine. If anyone has defense for this, I'd love to hear it.
E is E where it belongs.
No.
Nah, I think it needs to go higher.
D though.
I think it's better than Beartick. Mm-hmm. Alright, so I think if we look over this list again, it's very B heavy.
And unfortunately, I feel like most Pokemon tier lists do become B heavy. You can't
Yeah.
stop it because there's just so many Pokemon. You're like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool, but it doesn't have too much special about it, but it's not exactly bad. And so B will always be overcrowded.
The
But,
only
like,
thing
no-
I would lament in the top tier, like in terms of like rebalancing this list a bit, would be to put Spheal up to S,
Mhm.
put Glastrier up to A, and then leave it, and that balances out. Like if I did that, that feels like it shifted a little bit more.
Ice have magnificent Pokemon. I think that's like the problem. They've got like some majestic Pokemon. They've got some absolute like shockers. But I mean, every type has some shockers. But I wish if there's anything I see from this list, when I look at like Ninetales and stuff, that's really only like majestic Pokemon, and Ice should be the majestic type if anything. Ice is normally considered like sort of like regal.
Honestly, Ice feels like the weirdest type.
Mhm.
Like there's such a disparity between what an Ice Pokemon is, just judging by this list.
It does. It doesn't feel like there's so many organic things, there's so many things that have like ice on them, there's so many things that just don't have ice on them.
Exactly. Well, job done. Let me know what you guys thought. Please leave a comment down below. And if you liked what you saw, please consider liking and subscribing the video. It really does help. And as always, thanks for watching. Cheers.